This Quidditch unboxing is inspired by those like Loot Crate. So while this box isn't actually from Loot Crate, all the items are official and are selected by me. So here is a sneak peek of the items in the box to whet your appetite. I'm gonna put that down before I drop that. So let's go with the first item. Okay, so the first item, as you may have seen in the box, it was quite the very top item, and it is this Quidditch jumper. Now, you can't be playing Quidditch outside in the cold without a Quidditch jumper. This is the official item from Lockhaven, and it's one of probably my favorite items. I have worn this quite a lot, and it just goes with a lot of things. I actually made other videos about how you can wear it and stuff, but I love it. It's so, I was hesitant to get lamb wool because I always thought it would be itchy, but this is so soft and wearable, and if you're like looking for something that is kind of low-key but still Harry Potter, I would totally recommend getting this. You can get it in your house. Obviously I'm in Hufflepuff if you didn't already guess. Next item is the Quaffle, which is an item I purchased from the Harry Potter Studios in Watford. They had them there. It was in this little display box, which I've got rid of now because I've actually had this for quite some time and I've posed with photos in it. It's a great item that I think you could probably play Quidditch with, like the, you know, the Muggle version of Quidditch. But yeah, of course I had to have a Quidditch ball. Not that I'd be playing very much sport. So on the Quidditch balls, I actually only have one of these, which I don't know why I only went for one. Probably because they were so big. But of course this is the Bludger, Bat and Ball set. Now of course there are 2 beaters as part of a Quidditch team, but as you can see, I haven't opened it, but I would like to buy another one of these, and I saw in like Hogwarts Legacy, they have this really cool design on the wall with like crisscrossy, like, you know, the bats and the balls, and I thought that was so cute. So I eventually want to get another one of these. I will then open them and then make a kind of wall design for that. I was totally living for all the artwork and stuff in that game because they did it really well, and I was like, I could totally have this in my place. So now, next item was a really tricky item to get hold of. They don't seem to supply it to the UK, but it's by Elope, and it is this Quidditch goggles set. Now we see Harry wearing this in the 3rd film when he's flying like through the rain. This is, of course, if you're a seeker, you will need this. Or if you know the spell which as Hermione used, if you remember this, pop us in the comments down below, of the spell that's used to make glasses, I don't want to say the word, resistant to water, because I was going to say the word, but yeah, that's the base of the spell. So yeah, pop it in the comments below if you remember. So as we know from the 2nd film and the Rogue Bludger, if you get involved with the Rogue Bludger and then an incompetent teacher, this is the item that you'd need, and of course it is a Skilly-Grow, well, potion. This is actually the Skilly-Grow bottle, which it is actually a water bottle, a usable water bottle, and you twist off the head and you can fill it with water. And when they did this, I was like, what an amazing idea. I don't know why they hadn't come up with it sooner, but a great little idea. Where was this from? I can't remember where this is from. Of course, I'll link everything down in the description box below. So if you want to find any items, I'll link them there, and then you can grab them there. But this is a great water bottle. And still in the Skilly-Grow bottle theme, this is an even more screen accurate version that's from Japan. I believe it's from the Wizarding World in Japan. It's actually not a bottle, it's actually a toy that you pull, like a wind-up toy. But it has the sticky outy arms as per the film prop, which the water bottle couldn't have because it would break. Like, I get it, like it had to be like this one, but this one is, so this little head doesn't come off, but the mouth moves, but the arms stick out, and I thought it's so cute. It has actually like quite a little Diddy bottle, well, Diddy toy compared to the bottle, but I think it was just so cool, I had to get it. Now this item is a double item. It is actually the tie that the students wear when they haven't been sorted into their houses just yet. So this is when they first arrive at Hogwarts, or you'll see all the students are wearing this tie with the Hogwarts crest on, this is a great item. So why are you thinking, like, why is this sorting ceremony like tie as part of this collection? Well, I'll tell you. You'll see this as actually the tie that Madame Hooch wears as part of her referee outfit. So she wears this kind of billowy, kind of black and white referee outfit, but this is the tie that she wears. So that is why I thought I would include it. So it's a double whammy. So if you get this tie, you can wear it for the sorting ceremony, or you can wear it for Quidditch refereeing. The next item is from, I believe it's from Noble Collection, and it's actually from the Ron Weasley artifact box. And this is the poster for the Chudley Cannons, which I believe they have quite a funny slogan. Let's all just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. If that's a positive mentality, I don't know what isn't, but it's for the Chudley Cannons. Now they have Chudley Cannons like merch dotted throughout the Gryffindor boys' dormitory, but this poster can actually be seen in Ron's bedroom in the Burrow, and it's really cool, like without obviously breaking it. It has like these sticky out wings, so even more screen accurate. Like they could have just like not done that and just printed a poster, but I'm glad that they added that kind of 3D wings onto that, because it does make it more screen accurate, and a great little addition if you're a Quidditch fan. I noticed that Harry has this little flag actually in the Dursley's house, so in Privet Drive, but of course it is the Gryffindor version. But so I was like, okay, well Harry has the Gryffindor version, so I'm gonna get the Hufflepuff version so that I can stick it up, and I actually have this up in my cupboard, which I think is really cute, and just to showcase my love of my house. Now before we get on to the exclusive Japanese item, which I love so much, there's still a few more items in this box. Next one, I think this is from Harry's artifact box, but it could also be from the Ron Weasley artifact box. I can't quite remember, from Noble Collection, but it is the Quidditch final ticket. So this is the Quidditch World Cup final ticket that they have. Now you don't actually, I don't believe you see this in the film, but correct me if you're wrong, but this is what it would look like. There's like memorabilia and all this kind of stuff that they made for the films that didn't make it into the films, but this is a lovely item that you can get as part of that, and it looks very in keeping. There's only like tiny little Wizarding World like Warner Brothers like stuff in the corner, so it doesn't pull you too much out of the magic. This is quite more in keeping within the world, like keeping it real for me, which is what I like. I think this is probably the easiest to get hold of if you're looking for a high quality snitch, and I actually sawed it off and then pulled off the back of it. So now I just have the snitch by itself. Now, of course, it leaves like little holes in the back, but if you're looking just to have a snitch that you can hold and, you know, for photos and stuff, then you can hide the things at the back. I wish they'd make it like magnetized, so you can just kind of pull it off, use it for photos, and then kind of pop it back on. It would still keep the snitch perfect, but of course I wasn't involved in the design of this stuff, so they went with what they needed to do. Now, final two items. So this one's a bit of a big one, and they still sell this at the Warner Brothers Studio Tour in London, and it is the Golden Snitch, the Quidditch game. I've still not played this game, but I would really like to. I just need to find some friends to play with. But yeah, so it's a game that they made, and it's really so. Will you be the first to catch the Golden Snitch? It's Gryffindor vs Slytherin in this fast-paced wizarding game of Quidditch outmaneuver the opposing team with authentic Quidditch tactics. Use spells and potions to confound and outwit your opponent. Each high-flying game is the battle of strategy and magic. It looks for fun, and it has these little 3D kind of Quidditch stands they can make out of card and stick them up, and I think that's very cute. Yeah, yet to play this. Now this final item from the box is the Japanese exclusive item, and holds two items that aren't official items, but they found items. So they didn't make it, so I thought, okay, well, I found them, I'm gonna include it in this box. And it is this little Quidditch trunk. So it's basically a little jewellery box, and ooh, you can hear that there's some stuff inside there. So it's by Warner Brothers from 2004, and they made it exclusively for Japan, and it's just such a beautiful box. I love the Quidditch box itself. A massive Quidditch box itself to house like the balls and stuff would be probably a bit cumbersome in my house, so I'm glad that I have this little more usable item, which is this little box. And of course it does open, it's not just a box itself, but I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. And the inside is just remarkable. I think the design is so beautiful. It's just like the films. Now there isn't a little snitch inside that little box, but I'll show you like what else is hidden underneath here. So it comes with this little like design of the quaffle and the two were they bludgers? I was trying to remember what they were. The bludgers hidden in this one. But yeah, so beautiful. So it's a little design in there. And then inside, which you use the quaffle to pick up, is the two items. Now I'll show you, I'll just put that aside so you don't sort of see what they are just yet. But the first item I wanted to showcase that I put in this box is the whistle that Madam Hooch uses during the Quidditch game. Now this is like it's like a sailor whistle. I can't remember if it's a boatswain or a bosun whistle. I can't remember the actual, like there's different terms of it. Again, I'll include it in the description, so if you want to find out what this is and get your own one. I found a very plain gold pretty one, because there's some ones that come with little stamps on them, on the edge of it, that like it's like a seal or some sort, but the one in the films is plain, so I got that. And the cord that it comes with, it's like a woven cord as per the film, but I haven't found one to add to this yet. So the final item, or items should I say, it's out of this box, was something that I found when I was researching. So I had a look at this promotional image of Oliver Wood, and on his clothing was like a tiny little badge that said Games Captain, and I thought, okay, let's find this, and I found what I thought was the closest one that I could find, and of course it was this one. So similar to Oliver Wood, this little Games Captain in Gryffindor, but of course I didn't just get Gryffindor because I'm in Hufflepuff, so of course I got the yellow version of the Games Captain, so that lives in that box too. And then I didn't just stay on that one. Of course I got Ravenclaw as well, so there's the blue version. And yes, of course I included Slytherin because I love my Slytherins, so there's the green version too. And yeah, quite widely available if you wanted to get a Games Captain one. This is one I found that it was as close to the ones in the film. So here are all the items gathered together to make this box. Oh, there is actually one more which I'll show you in just a moment, but here are all the items together. And I have to say, I think my favourite item probably is going to be this Quidditch box, just because I didn't know it was available. It was, when you find something new after so long of being a fan, you're like, oh my god, it's amazing. And it was just so well done, and I think Japan do like make some of the best Wizarding World items out there. I love it so much, and the fact that it's a usable item with such beautiful detail in that. But as I mentioned, these are all the official items on this side, and these are the two found items that I found on the internet. But what do you think? Leave me a comment down below. Is there something I'm missing from this one? I think the only thing that I'm missing is probably Quidditch robes, but unfortunately the robes that I could find were only in Gryffindor and Slytherin, and as a Hufflepuff, and I'm sure Ravenclaws will agree with me, this is very unfair. I'm looking at you, Cine Replicas, so can you please bring out the Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw versions of the Quidditch robes so I can add that, because I would have bought that and add that to this collection because I love having magical clothes as well. Alright, so the last item of course is the Nimbus 2000. It couldn't fit in the box. I didn't use an undetectable extension charm on the box to include it in, but of course this wouldn't be a Quidditch box if it didn't have a broomstick in it. So I thought I'd showcase this beautiful broomstick, which I'm so pleased I now have as part of my collection. It's from Cine Replicas, so I'm not too cross Cine Replicas that they didn't bring out a Hufflepuff Quidditch robe, because they brought us this Nimbus 2000, which is such a beautiful broomstick. I'm so pleased I have it. It sits in my hallway, I get to see it every day. It's so beautiful, I just don't get to fly it, which is, yeah, sad. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, be sure to give this a like. And with that, I'll see you in the next unboxing.